Hello everyone, it's Sue here. Welcome back to my channel. When I was last on, I was talking to you about doing a new journal in a peacock theme, and so I thought I'd just come on today and have a look with you all at the cover that we're going to make. So I wasn't quite sure how I was going to make it, but I think I will use Amazon packaging again. And so I've got one of their C1 packages, and this is quite a nice size. It's actually 10 inches high and approximately 7 inches wide. Now it does have this extra flap on, which I left on for my spring journal, but I want to take off for this one. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to actually cut this down. So it already has a natural spine, which is 7/8, just over ½ an inch, which I'm quite happy with that width of spine for this one. So I'm going to prepare this package for cover. You can see it has the 2 flaps in, which we won't use in situ, but I may use that cardboard to make pockets. I don't know. Anyway, the first thing we need to do is to really prepare this. So there's always a strip here, which this joins to. So I'm going to try and get that off. My nails are not brilliant. Oh, it's very well stuck down. Now there will be a tiny bit of roughness here where it comes off, so we don't want that. That can go in the bin. So I just neaten that up, pull off those pieces that's sticking out. Now it is going to be covered, so we don't need to worry too much about that. It's only surface. Okay, right, so we turn it over, and obviously there's our address. I want to take that label off, as much of it as I can. Again, I'm just using my nails. Well, I don't really have decent nails. They look all right at the moment, but they're always bendy. They're never strong. Never ever. So I'm just taking off as much as I can of these labels. If you can't get them off, then I think it's probably more important to try and get your address off if you can, because you don't know who might purchase this, and you might not want your personal details out there in the universe for everyone to know about. So it's always a good idea to try and get as much off as you can. So I've been looking at what I'm going to put in for papers, you know, for signature. Probably going to go for 1 signature. I'm a bit of a 1 signature girl at the moment. I'm getting used to sewing in 1 signature. I haven't really ventured to doing more than 1, to be honest. I did for one I did pre my YouTube channel for one of my daughters. I think it was the Harry Potter journal I did for Rachel. I had to end up doing more than 1 signature because it was quite a chunky monkey. But that was just for me. She didn't even know she was getting it, so it wasn't like I was under any pressure or you know, had to do anything different. I was able to do what I wanted to do, really. I think that's always a good idea, to try and do what you want to do rather than what you think you should do. You know, there are lots of people on YouTube crafting, and everyone's different. We've all got our own take on things, and it's nice to watch other people and get a few ideas, and I think you can then turn those ideas into your ideas. You know, you can tweak them really if you like. So that's, I suppose they call that artistic interpretation, maybe. I wouldn't profess to being an artist though. So Okay, So I'm going to take these flaps off next. Now, I did have a letter opener that would have been ideal for sliding in and out, but that seems to have disappeared. So I'm going to have to try and gently pull it. If I get a corner up, then you can get your actual bone folder along and just do that, but you'll find it's actually joined on the end. So I'm just going to snip that where it's joined. So we take that off. We may use it, so we won't throw it away just yet. And then again, that's joined that end, so if I can get this end up gently and then run my bone folder along like that, hold this piece and just gently, it's very tough. I must say the glue that Amazon uses is very good. Right, so starting to look a bit more journal cover like. Now I think that's the crease for the spine, that side. So what I want to do is I want to measure how much that is. So that is 6 3/8 of an inch. Okay, I'll just 6 3/8. I just want to put that on there for a minute because I'm bound to forget in a second. I've got a memory like a goldfish. And then I want to try and make sure that this is going to be the same because I want to cut this flap off. So you see, I've got to check 6. That wasn't 6 3/8, was it? I have to just double check. I'm just going to run my bone folder down this edge of this spine to try and define it a bit more, because I'm measuring from here. See, this is what I'm like. I've already forgotten, so I wrote that down, and it isn't 6 3/8. I actually wrote down the wrong measurement. It's actually 6 8/8. Well, we'll say 6 7 because we're going to neaten up this edge. 6 7/8. It didn't really help me by writing that down, did it? So I'm going to first of all just define this spine on this side. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know if you should be watching what I'm doing because it's a bit of a mess. Now 6 7, 6 8 is there. I'll just measure 6 and 8. There, like so. I'm just going to join those up. And so that's where we need to cut this off. Now I'm going to get my paper trimmer, I think, and let's see if this paper trimmer is going to actually play ball today. We never know with this whether it's going to work or not. So we want it there. Like so. Now it hasn't gone through. I lifted it up as well, so I'm going to have to try and line that line up again. It's a bit thick. I think I may have to cut the rest of it by hand. Oh no, look at that. So don't think we need that at the moment, that piece. Now, so what we now have is a nice little spine and a nice cover. So we do need to neaten up the edges, so I am going to now straighten up this edge if I can on here, and then we will re-measure. So that's not quite straight. Don't want to take too much off. this cardboard isn't perfectly straight, and it's not going to help me. This has made a complete mess of it now. See, it's chewed it all up. Okay, we won't use that. I'll just get rid of these bits here. So let's see if we can get this. I don't know if I can get this in here. It's not going to be, no, it's, if only I could lift that up. Okay, we're going to have to wing it by hand and hope for the best. So let's give it a go. Should be able to follow a line along here. I am covering all of this up. I just wanted it to be a bit neater, really. Right, so okay, just checking the time. So now I really want to just trim this edge off. So I'm going to follow that line along and see what we get. Right. I'm not sure that's completely straight, but it will be as straight as, because this is corrugated, so you have to be very careful because it's stiff. It's in lines, so it's stiff and then it's hollow and then it's stiff again. Right, well that looks okay. And I was going to try and trim these off, but I just think I'm going to run my scissors down like that and do the same down here. Just take those little knobbly bits off. Yeah, I think that's okay. You stand it like that. That meets there, and it's on its spine like so. I don't want to bend it. It can bend now, because that's going to be the front. So that's all ready. Okay, so then I wanted to cover it in this wallpaper sample that I showed you the other day. The only problem being, when you get a wallpaper sample, you never know where the pattern exactly is going to be. Now, I really want this peacock on the front here. So, it's going to, I may have to fold it round like so, like this, and then join another piece from here across here, just to get that piece there on my, so quite happy with it there. So I'm going to position it there like so, and it's very thick, this paper. Going to make sure, actually, if I fold it out this way, yeah, I think, well, we have that on the inside, and that might make that spine a bit stiffer actually, if we have it that way round. Okay, so what I want to do is make sure the head of the peacock, now this is going to be the tricky part, so I'm going to line this up here like so, because I know on the back I'm going to get the head in, and then I'm actually going to, oops, just need to check what the pattern will be on the back. So on the back it will have the tail. So where does the peacock come on that side? So I could probably move it over slightly. Okay, so I'm just trying to position it. So if I go down that way, what is on the bottom bit? Okay. So on the side, so I'm going to, yeah, I'm probably going to lose a bit of that tail. I'm just wondering whether to cut it here like I thought and then join it so that I have the tail. If I move it over that way, what do I lose there? That would be okay. So if I moved it there and then folded it like so, yeah, I'm pleased with that. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have the same width on the other side, which is 3 2/8. So I'm going to cut this paper down, and then at the top we've got one and 6/8. So that's, I'm just going to put a line there and a line there and a line there and a line there, and then I'm going to measure the same width. So put that to one side. So we want just over 1 3/4. So we want just over 1 3/4. So we want it there, like so. So that would give us, okay, right. So I've got to somehow cut this. Now I want to cut it on the paper trimmer. I've folded it in half. Like so. I'm leaving that like it is. I just need to cut this off first of all. So that's what we're going to do. Fingers crossed, everyone, that this works. If not, I'd be looking for something else to cover it with. Let's get that up there, I think, in readiness. Right, okay, that's right. Now, I said I wanted it there, so we're going to let's just, before we cut anymore, let's just see now if we okay, now somehow this is not working out how I expected it to work out, because it's not how I want to write. So we're going to do what I said. I'm going to cut it down here because that will give me enough overlap. So that's what I will do. And then I'm going to join a piece on, like I said, which will be fine because the spine's going to have something down, running down it anyway. Now that's, see, that's going to be too long to cut on here. I'm going to have to cut that by hand. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's cut this by hand. I have got a clear defined line. I'm not too bad if I can follow a line and just take it easy. Right, so okay, so this is now going to be the front. And we're going to fold it up and over like that. And then when we folded it over, so I'm going to do the front first. Okay, so we are going to I'm just placing it on the lines I drew. I'm just creasing that up with my hand. I just want to see, I'm roughly folding it at the moment because I just want to see what that is going to look like. Ah, so yeah, that's perfect. Okay, that's perfect. That's what I wanted. Now, okay, so we're going to be gluing. So that's my fold there. Take my bone folder, bone fold down there, like so, and then I am going to fold that there, and we're going to take out the bulk of that. So we are going to I never know how to do it, so I'm tempted to do that and fold it like that. Like so, and take the bulk out. I'm not quite happy with the way that is sitting, so I'm just trying to think what's the best way for me to cut this. Several ways of doing it. I think I'll cut it along there. Okay, so I'm just going to snip that off like that and have that there. I'm going to take this piece out because we don't need it, like so. That's much better, it's less bulky. Now I'm going to be putting corners, metal corners on here, so I'm not too worried about this at the moment. So I want to make sure that that is in as far as it needs to go, and we're going to give that a press down, and it's very thick, so again I'm going to cut this corner. So I'm not very good at cutting it from that angle. I should have cut it from this angle. Taking this piece out. Like so. And making sure that we have that. Okay, so now we have to to work out the spine, so we want to make a crease along there and along there, like so, and then do the same for that. So we're going to actually just use the bone folder on both those. See, that's where the spine is. Those are the two lines. Let's do the same down there, just so that I've got a guide, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that corner off there, and I'm going to do the same this side. So I am cutting the corner up to there. I'm sure there's probably a much easier way of doing this. It's just not something I've cut the corner in an opposite way. If you know, yeah, I have. Okay, that's all right. So I should have cut it. Should have cut it this way. I am all cack-handed, as they say. So it needs to go from there across there, like that. So unfortunately now I haven't got that piece there. Okay, right, so what I want to do is make sure that folds. And it does, and I'm going to stick those down. So I'm going to stick that on, rid of those pieces, and then I'm going to fold the rest of it over, and I'm going to do that off camera, and I will see you again in a moment. Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that. I probably was only gone a few seconds, but actually in reality I was gone a bit longer than that, because my husband came home, and so I've covered this, so that's what it looks like. I've got that join there, but I'm going to cover that with some lace later on, and I probably will add some embellishments onto this. I've taken a 12 by 12 out of the heirloom stack of paper. For those that have not seen this, it is a massive 180 sheet pad of 12 by 12s, and there are, I think, 3 sheets to each design. They are single-sided, and you actually get, I don't know what the weight of the paper is, but you get lots of lovely designs. So there's that sheet there. I'll just quickly flick through this lovely newsprint on burgundy colour, browny burgundy. And that's very pretty. That's teal and brown. This is lovely. I was toying with that one for the inside. This is lovely, look, aged parchment looking paper. Well, it isn't parchment, but it's looking like it. That lovely beige one. A plain sort of burgundy with a bit of a pattern in it. It's a bit like tree bark. There's this one, combines all the colours of the whole pad, which is beautiful. This is lovely, absolutely lovely. And then there's this one that actually looks a bit like corrugated cardboard to me. This is lovely too. You could do an awful lot with this pad. This is very handy, this lovely lined paper. Then you've got this sheet with all these individual pieces on, which you could actually cut out individually. Then you've got this world map there. This is like chipped wood, painted wood. And this beautiful colour here, this teal, is very lovely. Just thinking that would have been, no, I think I stick with the one I've got. And that's lovely. It's red and, well, I keep calling it red, but it is a sort of a burgundy red, and the teal. Lovely grid paper. This is this lovely dark burgundy with music print on it. Another beautiful one here, Collage Sheet. So there's 3 of every one. This is one of my favourites. It's all collage strips. Then there's this one which is actually lace, a lace effect piece. That would be very handy. Then you've got green, which is like a woven, has a woven pattern on it. Another sheet of numbers. You could cut these out and use them individually. A lovely music paper in green, and the almost like vintage coloured aged paper. This is that lovely green again, but this time it's almost like a crocodile print, you know, crocodile skin. And this gorgeous green one, the newspaper print in green. Look at those playing cards, aren't they lovely? You could probably cut those out as well individually. Number sheets. And again, you could cut these out individually and use them in collages. This is lovely. This is, it's almost like scrumpled up paper or fabric with a bit of a little script pattern in it. This is lovely. It says beautiful. It is beautiful. This again is like a tweed material. This looks like a sort of almost like a kitchen work surface type pattern on it. And then you've got crossword. No clues though, so you couldn't fill in the blanks. And this is very nice. This is just a random shaded page. It's a lovely colour. Oh, and this is gorgeous. I mean, imagine what you can do with this, cutting everything out. The music paper again, but it's, the background is a lovely sort of damask ombre sort of damask colouring. This is gorgeous. I love that. Love that colour too. You see how many you get? Look, it's never ending. Some lined paper with some interest on that side. Beautiful green again. It's the bottle green. Bingo cards. Again, you can cut those out individually. This is that teal again. Now, this is the one I've used, I believe. Yes, there are only 2 sheets. So that's the one I've used for the inside cover. That's nice. That's got newspaper print in the background, and this has got a very unusual pattern on it. Now that's another handy page. Look, all those pieces you could cut out individually. This very unusual colouring. Another nice one, newsprint with all these strips on. And all these letters, again, you could cut these out individually if you wanted to. Keys with script in the background. More sort of chipped wood, flaky wood effect, different colours. Another collage sheet that's all very lovely, and you could, you know, use individual pieces of that. It says happy on it. Another green one. This time it has got like a wood grain in the background. This beautiful one with clocks. which is a combination of all the colours. That's very pretty. Again, that's almost like coffee or tea dyed paper. You've got your cards again, your playing cards, this time on that nice light background. And this is nice. It's almost like a leather effect in the background. Oh, that's pretty. Very pretty colour. Very pretty pattern. And this is gorgeous. Look at this. That's lovely. So there you have it. That's the heirloom stack. It wasn't that expensive considering how much is in it. I'm trying to think now. I've got the link if anyone wants it. I might have bought mine via Tanya at Tatty Treasures storefront on Amazon, because it's listed there. So you could go on over to that, and I could put her link in the description at the end. So I've cut my sheet down from 12 by 12, so I've cut it down, so I'm going to have a piece either side, and I'm just going to use my glue stick. So I've distressed the edges, as I say, with the pine needle, Tim Holtz Distress Ink. Excuse the noise. If you can hear any talking, it's actually my neighbour outside the window. I don't know who he's talking to. I could look, but I won't be a nosy neighbour. So I just want to make sure this is straight. Yes, that's okay. I'm just going to use my, I hope I'm in camera. Apologies if I'm not. Just going to use the bone folder now to press that down. Give that a little bit more. I don't want to press too hard. Sometimes when paper is glued, it can rip. So that's for extra strength for when I sew in the signature. And there we have it. So that is the covered piece so far. Obviously I'm going to decorate this, cover this with lace, and we might have some pockets and things in here. So that's how far we've got today. Right, okay, I will say goodbye, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.